Hi there, you lovely book people. I have a book review for you today. Oh, wait, you want to come up? First of all, a visit from Tilly. Here she is. And just to update you, I am pleased to inform you that, hello, that, that her eye is completely healed now. So after her little mishap a couple of weeks ago, the ulcer has completely gone. No more eye drops, thank goodness. So thank you for all your suggestions, and some of them did really help with that, but everything's fine now, so much relief about that. So today I have a book review for you, and I have been reading A Week in Paris by Rachel Hore. And by the way, if you wait to the end of this video, I've also got a little mini book haul that I recently bought a few books, so we'll have a look at those as well. So, A Week in Paris by Rachel Hore. Now, Rachel Hore is one of those writers that I've read a few of her books before, and I do like the kinds of things she writes. She tells a really good story, and this is well, this is a really good story. It's published in 2014. It's one of the books my mother picked up. Both of us liked Rachel Hore. She read this one, went in the bookshelf, and I've only just got round to reading it. As I've said before, my mother used to love reading books set during the war, and much of this is set during the war. In fact, most of the earlier timeline of this book is set in German-occupied Paris. So, as is very often with Rachel Hore, it's a dual timeline novel. So, as I said, one of the timelines is in Paris during the war, and the second timeline is in 1961. And it's about a woman who, she's a violinist. Her mother was also a musician, a pianist. She is about to go to Paris for 1 week to play with an orchestra in Paris. And that week in Paris is the main kind of 1960s part of the book. And that part of it is set in April in Paris. The main character's name is Faye, and her mother's name is Kitty. At the beginning of the book, we see a little snippet from Faye as a teenager when she goes to Paris on a school trip and finds that she has some strange memories or strange things keep happening, like when some bells ring, it sort of makes her feel very afraid and scared suddenly, and she doesn't know why. And she realizes that Paris feels slightly familiar, even though she believes that she's never been there. And then we go forward into 1961, and she's a woman about to go on this trip, but her mother is not well, and she's actually in hospital at the time, and she's a little bit worried about her. And also, she gets the feeling that there are some secrets in the family, some things that her mother hasn't told her. And her mother seems a little bit on edge about her going to Paris and things that she might find out there. So that's the sort of opening premise. We know that there is something in the family that has happened in the past that Faye doesn't really remember and her mother hasn't told her about. So she uses the week she has in Paris to try and find out more about what happened to her parents during the war in Paris. Not even realising at first that her parents had been there, but she finds out a lot of surprising things. And it's one of those books where there's always something you want to keep finding out. There's always something secret. And those kinds of things really do make you want to keep turning the pages. And also the characters are really sympathetic and relatable. And there is romance in this book. There are two. We see in the earlier part when Faye's parents meet and fall in love. And also, while Faye is in Paris, she meets a boy she actually earlier met when she went on that school trip, and they kind of got on, but she thought she'd never see him again. And she meets him again in this week in Paris, and they start seeing each other, and that's a rather nice sort of developing romance. But the main thrust of the novel is this story that Faye is trying to discover. And she is very surprised to learn, although the memories that she has, of course, confirm it, that she was, in fact, in Paris with her parents and was, in fact, born there. And they remained in Paris throughout the occupation. And so there's a lot about what it was like to be in Paris in that time. And Rachel Hore, she does her research. It's very well detailed and described. She references at the end the books she used for her research. And of course, in such a setting, there's going to be tragedy, difficult times, and towards the end of the book, there's quite a interesting kind of adventure that happens through somebody making a mistake, and there's all kinds of twists and turns. It's just very, very readable, very page turning. One of those books I was always glad to get back to every time I picked it up. And, it has various themes. Of course, it has the main theme of family secrets. And there are kind of questions it raises by how much should we keep from children? What kind of things should we tell them about past difficult times, and how much sometimes should we hold back from them? That's a very interesting kind of woven in theme of the book. Not an easy one to answer. It also looks at how in such difficult times as the German occupation, how relationships get muddled and betrayals happen, but misunderstandings happen as well. And also the difficulties of where somebody is, it turns out, somebody is in the resistance, but how much do they tell their family? Because if they tell them too much about that, then it puts them in danger. All that. She touches on so many themes of being in an occupied country, and all those secrets, lies, where are they right, where are they wrong, and the absolute chaos that can happen, in wartime, with families losing each other, finding each other, etc. So there's a lot in this book, but it's a really good read, and although it's fairly chunky, it didn't take me too long to go through it. Rachel Hore is very good on novels about family secrets and looking back at past family, present family, that kind of novel. So if you like novels like that with a little bit of romance thrown in as well, and dual or multi-timeline books, then you would really, really enjoy Rachel Hore's books, and I would particularly recommend this one. And if you'd like to see a review of another book that might be in a similar vein, I'll try and pick one out and put one up here for you. So my next book review is going to be the last in the Philippa Gregory trilogy, the Tidelands trilogy. Right, I really loved the first two, and I've reviewed those two as well. So I'm going to be looking forward to reading this one over the next couple of weeks and reviewing that shortly. Now, I also promised you a little mini book haul. Well, I was out at shopping at my nearby town of Chipping Norton recently, and they have a lovely charity bookshop, the Oxfam charity, where they just sell books. It's an Oxfam bookshop, and I love it. They have such a good selection in there. It's just one of my favourite bookshops. And whenever I go in, I have to really limit myself to a sort of column of shelves because I come away with far too many books. Usually I try and only buy just one book at a time, but I came away with 3. In this particular visit, I just looked at the science fiction shelves. So here is what I got. I got a Douglas Adams, and it's the final in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series, Mostly Harmless, and it's the only one I haven't read, so I'm really looking forward to that. I love the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So funny. I know that it has been said that the last ones weren't as great as the first 2 or 3, but one has to finish a series eventually. So I am looking forward to reading that. For a bit of light relief at the moment, I think, is very important. So I should be putting that into my TBR. And guess what? I found another Douglas Adams. And this one is The Long Dark Tea Time of the Soul. Typical title from Douglas Adams. And this is one of the Dirk Gently novels. It's a kind of whodunit, but they're very, very weird, very funny. I've seen some of the Dirk Gently TV adaptations, which were extremely weird, funny, sometimes disturbing. I do like a bit of weird, so that too I am looking forward to. And for my third book, I picked up a writer who I have only recently started reading, despite him being one of the best known novelists in the world. And it's a Stephen King novel, and this is called Lisey's Story. Lisey sounds better. Anyway, it's that. I don't know much about it, apart from what it says on the back. The kind of strapline is, every marriage has 2 hearts, one light and one dark. It's a psychological thriller. Description on the back doesn't tell you too much. It's about a woman who was married to a best-selling novelist, but he was a deeply haunted, troubled man, and she now has to delve into that. That's what I get from the back. So, do like a psychological thriller, so and it's quite a chunky one. So, there you go. Looking forward to that. That's my little mini book haul. Quite pleased with that little lot. So, Tilly and I will be back again next week. It's the Easter weekend coming up, so I do hope you all have a lovely Easter. I shall have a little bit of a break. We might even go out somewhere, who knows? What do you think, Till? Yeah, that's a good idea, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Take care, everyone, and see you again soon. Bye for now.